Good day. I am live again and again without putting it on social media and stuff. So it's another test that I am just trying to do here, just like my other one was. And I already see that things are going weird. Let me see if I can get it right. Okay, so this looks a little bit better. You see, I'm not a pro with this at all. How am I going to do this? I think this is going to be best like this, or just like this. So last time I had some problems with my sound. It was too loud. I have tweaked it a little bit, so I hope it's better now. I hope it's not too soft. It's a little bit something that I need to play with. So I already streamed some videos in private and I watched them back, and for me, where I'm sitting, the sound is not too loud and it's not too soft, but I don't know how that is with you guys. Yeah, so why am I here? I was thinking of opening up Oracle Blue or L'Oracle Blue, I don't know how you call this deck. So this is a deck, I guess it's French. It's a French deck. But what I've seen online on pictures is that it has also the English language in, I think it's this corner of the cards. So I'm very curious about that. And I have, I think the first time I saw this deck was, I think it was December, and I saw it online, and immediately there was something about it. I saw only the box and I saw it was called Oracle Blue or something, and I was thinking at that moment like, blue? What? And then I saw this picture of the deck, and at that moment I thought that it just looked pretty interesting. So I was curious about the pictures, but I could not really find any. And then I saw a full walkthrough of this deck with just music in the background. It was a digital walkthrough, so not a real one, not with the actual person there. And I was just staring at the cards, and I thought they were gorgeous. So I decided to order this deck, I think 2 weeks ago. It took me a while. And the reason it took me a while to buy this deck was I wasn't really planning on buying any decks because I still have some decks unopened. And but it kept playing on my mind. So I just, I think a couple of days, no, weeks ago, everything is so, time goes so fast. But a couple of weeks ago, I did a healing for myself, a blue healing. The healing is actually called Blue. When I did a healing for myself and I saw my guide standing there. And at that moment, I was looking at him and I thought, you look pretty much like these people in this deck. So maybe I should order the deck. And I did. And it's not that I just recognized him from the deck because I've seen him many times and he always looks bluish, a little bit more see-through, but still, glowing blue. So yeah, I ordered the deck because of the blue people in this deck, which probably have nothing to do with my guide, but it just reminded me of it. And I see I have 3 people watching, so hi. So this is a first impression on, yeah, Oracle Blue. I haven't opened the deck yet. So, let's just start opening it up because I am starting to get very, very curious. And where do I start? So, usually in my first impression videos, sometimes you really see me trying to get it open. But most of the time, I make a little starter, and then I just put my scissors in it, these pairs of scissors, and at that moment I start filming. So sometimes I'm cheating a little bit, but yeah, let's open this one up. So, oh man, I'm curious, and it's so weird that I'm doing this live right now. It's out of the wrappings, so let's just open it up. and it's wrapped inside as well. So there's a little book there. I guess that's all going to be in French, which I don't speak. Oh yeah, maybe nice. The sides of the box, this one is in English, and then the other side is in French. So there, you know, I guess it is for the international market, and yet I have never seen it. So let's look at the book first. Let's just do this as I always do. The book. Yeah, it's French. It's completely in French. It's nice. It has spreads, which I have no idea how to do. And there's English in it too. Yay! So does it where? How does this work then? So there are English instructions. Yeah. The foreword in the booklet, the Blue Oracle. Sometimes a glance, a word, or even silence is enough for everything to change. Maybe tomorrow. I cannot read out loud. But here it is in English. I don't know if you can read this because my stream is a little late, so I have no idea if this is readable for you guys. But so there is English in the book. Let's see how far it goes. So there are instructions. It's an intuitive deck, so that's interesting. So before handing your Blue Oracle, okay, so there are, I think this is a spread. First method, the Grand Pyramid. So you have a Grand Pyramid spread and drawing cards in a Great Pyramid. Gather the cards together in one pack. Okay, so there are some spreads here. So that's cool. The third method, the Big Wheel. So there are also meanings of the cards, but it's very teeny tiny. So there's not really much to go on. But some look a little bit Lenormand-like in their meanings, but it's also an oracle deck. So I am very curious. It's not much, so there are just a couple of pages in English, and then it goes to a different language. So let's go to the cards because I think we stayed long enough with the book. Back of the cards, and I think this is beautiful, you guys. This is beautiful. It's very deep blue. So let's just open this one up. It's so funny. I only see 2 people are watching, which, you know, doesn't make me so nervous, so that's good. And normally, you know, I'm filming this and nobody is watching, and I just put it online later, so it really doesn't matter. It's just very funny to me to try to do this live. You know, thought that you cannot edit. It's just a weird idea. So this is the back of the card, and it's also the last card in the deck, as I see here. I think this is beautiful. It's beautiful dark blue. So, you know, let's just look at the card. So there is already a walkthrough on this deck. So let's just do a walkthrough because it's already online. So, you know, you can already find it. So let's just look at the cards. So this is light. And as you see here, there's the English language. And I'm happy that there is English on the cards because otherwise I would not know what to do with it. So we have light, and it's blue light. It's very simple, and I love the simplicity here. The man. So we have a man card, which is very abstract. And then we have the woman. So yeah, I see why people say it's a little bit Lenormand-like, because there are people cards in there. But I love this. You know, the man I don't think is that attractive, but I think she is beautiful. I'm still a little bit shaky. The child, so we have the child here. Cardstock, by the way, is, I love it. I think it's good. It is flexible, but not too flexible. So it's very sturdy, but if you bend it too much, you're going to damage the cards. But it's beautiful. It's yeah, how do you say it? It's very sturdy, not so flexible. Work card. So we have work, and here we have a normal person with just normal skin color. So it's almost like this is very mundane. And as I said, this is my first impression, you guys. I haven't seen the deck. I have seen walkthroughs online, but I haven't seen the deck. News. So yeah, again, it's a very Lenormand vibe at the beginning of this deck. Even though this deck has, how many cards does it have? It has many cards. 73 cards. Love, and this is beautiful. This is just beautiful. I love this card. And you see this in a lot of pictures online. The temple. And I really see a double meaning here. It's like she is in a temple, but it's also like she or he, what is it? Is a temple. Yeah, love it. Patriarch, I don't know. But I think the elephant is beautiful. I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm sorry, guys. This is interesting. We have here the others. I love that in a reading. I really love that. I think you can use this in multiple ways. If you want to work in a sort of cartomancy Lenormand style, you could have like a little position where you have the others. But it's also in just, you know, a normal oracle reading, having a card that is the others. I think it's very interesting. It's still, it can say so much. So I love that. The three of the tree, I have to say this right, the tree of life. And here we have a very macho man. I don't know how to say this. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce this either. But he looks a little bit like a warrior macho guy. Not really my type. Sterility. This is interesting. And I already get a lot of feelings with this card. This is interesting. It's almost like, you know, with in feminine energy, it's sometimes it feels that females, women, we are not allowed to be completely, how do you say that, open and free. We always need to keep in mind that we need to keep our manners. We need to be a good woman. And it feels like that, you know, like even though you're not, at least you need to pretend that you are in this society. Transformation, and this is interesting. So here we have a sort of a scythe card, we have a death card, and we have a transformation card. And it, you know, it is like that sometimes, you know, the transformation, it's talked about like, you know, wow, I'm going through this transformation, it's all great, but you know, going through transformation isn't always that great, even though sometimes, you know, you really go to nice and beautiful things. And at least, you know, it happened to me a couple of times that things really did, I did things to make things better, but still it was like a very difficult transition, and it really felt like I had to say goodbye to some things. And so I love this idea of transformation with a scythe, you know, with cutting. cutting away things, you know, cutting away friends, cutting away communities. I've done that. And yet, you know, seeing it as a beautiful thing, even though it can be very painful. So I love this. This is a very creepy card. Whoa. This is okay. I'm warning you. This is a creepy card. So if you cannot look at separate body parts, then close your eyes. I warned you. So we have here revolution. Very powerful. But yeah, a little bit too much maybe. This is a good card for me to work with. I'm just saying. So the card is gone. You can look again. Power. Is this a mirror? I love this. You know, I love how many layers these cards have. I know that they're probably not for everyone, but I think they're very interesting. By the way, I don't know if the chat is working, but I have not seen any chats yet. So if you know, if you want to say hi, you're welcome to. But at the moment, I don't see any chats. So if you did, then I'm sorry, I haven't seen it. Illusion. Hope. Has a little bit of Pandora's box in there in the symbolism. I know the story of a little moth that was Hope. And she has this moth, it looks like, on her back. This is beautiful. Gestation. This is very beautiful. This is going to be a long first impression. Heavenly. Okay, I don't know how to say this. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But it's a beautiful card. The choice. The festivities. Do I say that correct? Festivity. Yeah, the festivities. This one I love. This is really one that just stayed with me. The message. I think this is so beautiful. This is such a beautiful card. I would buy the whole deck only to have this card because I think this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. Abundance. Very simple, but for me, you know, seeing a sort of cornucopia, it reminds me of Fortuna, and I love Fortuna, so yeah, I love that. Affection, yeah. It's so weird. Normally, when I film on my laptop, I have like this screen that is showing me what I'm doing currently, and now I'm looking back at the stream, and you know, and I just see what I did before. So sometimes I'm like, what was I doing there? But it's I just need to get used to it, I guess. Sacrifice. This deck is not afraid to show it in a harsher way, but I don't know. At the moment, it's very strange because I used to love very soft and sweet and innocent decks, and somehow something changed, and I like to work with a little bit more harsher, more direct energy. And I don't see it as something like I grown into these decks. I don't see it like that. It's just a shift that I made. So it's not better. It's not better, worse. It's not, you know, it's not like, ooh, I grew. You know, it has nothing to do with that. It's just a shift. There happened a shift somewhere at the end of 2016, and I went through that in 2017. And I just, you know, right now I love it when things are a little bit more harsh, a little bit more direct. So maybe it's not a transition to something better. Maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. I don't know. But what I try to say is I don't see this as something like, ooh, I'm now so evolved. It's nothing like that. It's just it something changed, and it just changed. I like to have more direct decks, and yeah, I think that this one is definitely something that is part of that. Studies, love this. The law, so it's sort of your justice, and yeah, I just need decks like this at the moment. Like I think that's it. There's also something else going on, and it's also something that is quite interesting to look at for myself. Is at the moment I'm not excited about buying decks. I don't know. It's just I'm a little bit confused about that because I don't have any problems with collecting decks, and I have no problem with owning a lot of decks. And I don't want to scale down or any of that stuff. I don't feel guilty about my decks because I didn't buy them when I shouldn't. You know, I have a monthly budget that I can spend the way I like, guilt free, and most of my decks are bought from that budget. But I don't know, maybe my thirst or my hunger for decks is just done at the moment. But this I think this is at the moment the last one that I will buy in a long time. You know, you don't know. Maybe I change tomorrow. I don't think so. But just there's just not really much that excites me at the moment. There's still one deck that I really want, and that's the Lily Scott. But as long, you know, that one is not yet out of print, so it can wait. It can just wait. If I find it, maybe, you know, I'm in 2 weeks. I'm going to like a Gothic convention and a mineral convention. If I find it there and it's a good price, then maybe I will bring it home. But I'm not going to order it online or something. So here we have the uncertainty. And I love this. It's like this little kid almost. You know, you never know what he or she is growing into. Actually, you're never certain of anything, are you? As a kid, maybe you're afraid that your parents might die or all these feelings. Yeah, a lot of fruit, yeah, a lot of things to think about. I don't know. Sorry. Normally I cut these things out when I don't know what I'm saying, but today, you know, I have to leave it in. The guide. I've never seen my guide like this. So I'm trying to picture my guide in this. It's very difficult. I like all these, these, oh, let's just show it to you guys. These things that are these energy patterns that are on the side. And what I like about that is because it also reminds me of animations you see about brain waves, you know, about the patterns that your brain has, the ways that it creates. And it's almost like, you know, you can, your mind has the power to connect with your guides. You know, that's how it feels. Your mind has the power, the understanding to connect with your guides. And, you know, I really get the feeling with that card that everything that we need to connect with spirit guides is already in our body present, you know? People feel sometimes that you need to develop special skills and that these skills are outside of you, that they lie in spirit, but they also lie in the body. That's what I feel with that card. Like, you know, you are born with the body parts to connect with spirit, to connect with guides, to connect with angels. It's all here, you know. It's all here. So here we have change. A little message there. That happens when I go through cards like that. Travels. So this video is going to take a long time. Soulmate. Serenity. Beautiful cards. I love this deck, you guys. There are some cards that I think are a little bit too much, and then there are cards that really touch me. Health. And we have mushrooms over here. So is it talking about mental health or about the body? It's interesting. I've seen this card online and I have no idea what this means or how to pronounce this. I have to look that up because I'm Dutch girl, you know, I'm from the Netherlands and English is not my native language. So I have no idea what this means. The desert. And still I have to say, you know, let me see. For me, the chat isn't working or, you know, nobody is saying anything. Doesn't matter, but if there is something you said, I haven't seen it, so I'm sorry if that is the case. The desert. It's interesting because she is in a desert place and yet she's also not seeing anything. She's closing herself off from everything. So I think this is really something that, you know, you can be in a place where you feel cut off, but you can also cut off yourself. And it has just multiple meanings. I love it. The initiated person. This is interesting. This is such an interesting card, an interesting idea to have in a card. I've never seen something like this in a card. And that's also something I like about this deck. It has a little bit of everything. The benevolence. Trade. We have a frog. That's interesting. I don't know what the frog has to do with trade. I need to look this one up. I don't know. I really don't know. No, I don't know. So let's just keep it at that. Progression. This is interesting. You have the pyramids. This is something I need to think about. I love that. Separation. Faithfulness. And here we have grief, and I feel that with this card, it's again in the brain. It's again in that brain area, that the mind. Hearts. The city, and it's looking like you're looking at the city from out of a window. You see here all these windows, so it's even bigger. You're looking at a very big building. The countryside also looks like it's looked from out of a window. So it's almost like you're separated from it. And here we have the sea, which looks like it's also separated by a window, like you are in a boat or a submarine. The mountains, you're on a balcony, also separated from the mountains. And here we have, I think we're going into the season, so now we have spring. So it really has a little bit of everything in one deck. Summer. Autumn. You're looking at the same tree. I know those. One card is falling on the floor, but you're looking at the same tree. So that's interesting. So you're really looking at the same outside world in different seasons. Doubling, I don't know. The gifts. The girl. So we have another man and female card, female and male card here. The boy. We're going into the elements now. So we have water. We have air. The earth. The fire. The collapsed world. And we have the mineral world. The vegetal world. I hope I said that correct. The animal world. Three cards to go. More than half an hour. The first step. And then we have the Knights. And then the last card, Evolution. So that was a whole walkthrough of this deck. Oh, and one card has been dropped on the floor. So let's see if I can just fix it. The other card, it has to stay on the floor. Okay, so yeah, my first impression of this deck. It feels like it has everything, and that's not something I would say about an Oracle deck. Most of the time when I feel a deck has everything, I'm talking about tarot, because I feel that tarot is a very complete system. This is an Oracle deck, and I don't want to say it's more complete than tarot, but it feels complete in a different way, but it feels like a very, very complete deck. It feels like it has everything that I could wish in an Oracle deck. It has very beautiful, very soft images, but it also has some harsher images, like that woman with like this one. It's a very harsh energy. But I also like this. This is just beautiful. This is just beautiful. I know I already showed all these images before. So yeah, first impression on this deck. It feels very, very complete. It feels very, very, I keep saying very, very, but it feels complete. It feels like it has everything. I feel that this is a deck that I could just grab and use on its own. And most decks I don't use on their own. Most decks I use with other decks. And I feel that this is a deck that I would actually use on its own. Because I feel that there are not cards in here that need to double for something else. I don't know if that makes any sense, but sometimes when I'm working with cards and I'm working with a spread and I'm working with questions, I feel that some cards need to have the chance to fall again somewhere in the spread. So I usually work with 3 decks so that I can have doubles. And with this deck, I don't think that's necessary, because I do feel that these cards, they pretty much stand on their own. Of course, I have not worked with them yet, so I have no idea. We will see. So my first impression is, I love it. I'm absolutely not disappointed in it. And 3 days, and then I'm going to choose my decks of March, and spoiler, this one will be in it for sure. So yeah, that's my first impression on, I don't know how to pronounce this, but let's call it the Oracle Bleu. I hope you enjoyed this live stream or video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.